All right, guys, I got a huge episode here for you today. We are talking about 5 fantasy football running back sleepers that I absolutely love. Before I get into this show, I'm not pulling back any punches. It is now prime time. It is draft season. We are full flow draft season. Fantasy football 2020 is upon us. We're just a few weeks away from the season starting. So guys, before I get into this show, head on over to thefantasyfootballcounts.com. Get the 16-round draft solution. I've also linked it here below. Pinned comment in the body of the message here below this video. If you're in the car, pull over, go to thefantasyfootballcounts.com. This is the game changer. I give you all the optimal players to draft in each round, omitting all of the players that are going to potentially bust. So I'm giving you guys the best players to draft in each round, when to draft them, sleepers, breakouts. Everything you guys need is in the 16-round draft solution. Head on over to thefantasyfootballcounts.com or click on the link below. Let's get to the show. All right, guys, welcome to the show. Joseph Robert, the Fantasy Football Counselor. Today we're talking about fantasy football running back sleepers. I love this show because I got 5 running backs that the mainstream consensus, the consensus, are sleeping on. These guys could be immense value for you, could potentially break out, and you can get them for an amazing value. And again, before I get into this show, I did plug it at the beginning. Make sure you guys head on over to thefantasyfootballcounselor.com. Get the 16-round draft solution. It is the game changer. I've linked it below. First ever and only video training. I'm telling you guys, this will give you a massive advantage over the competition. Get it below. All right, 5 sleepers I love. Now, I'm pretty good at picking sleepers. I do it every single year. I did it the year Kareem Hunt broke out. I do it all the time, guys. I'm telling you, I'm really good at gauging this. But this year, I'm going to be a little more strategical with it. You don't have to overpay for these sleepers at all. You can get them for immense value. Now, last year I drafted Montgomery at his ADP in the 3rd round. He didn't really pan out, and that was a big part of it was Nagy and him trying to be too cute with plays and all that. Listen, things have changed and with the Bears. He's my first sleeper. Let's just get to the first guy here, David Montgomery. Now, David Montgomery, again, 3rd round ADP last year. Him and Jacobs, both great prospects. Jacobs doing a little bit better. Problem with Montgomery was he didn't work on his top end speed. He didn't have any holes open up. He didn't have any breakout runs, which brought his average yard per carry to 3.7. We need that to come up, and it will this year. He has been working on his conditioning. He does look better this year. And Nagy can't play cute this year. They got to smash the ball down the defender's necks. So what I'm going to tell you guys here is David Montgomery's a huge sleeper because you can get him in the 4th round. A guy that had 242 attempts. Listen, this year, he's going to have more than that. He's going to have 250 at least as a floor. He's going to have at least 10 touchdowns on the ground. He's going to be involved in the passing game. Now, I understand there's some talk about Cornell Patterson, this and that. Listen, I'm not really sold on him. I'm not sold on Tariq Cohen as well. Tariq Cohen led the team in drop passes. He's supposed to be a pass-catching running back. Not sold on this offense at all. David Montgomery is a guy I absolutely love this year as a sleeper. You can get this guy, honestly, and literally in the 4th, 5th round. And you can get him as your RB3 or 4 on your roster. I like him at more of an RB4 as part of a robust RB strategy. I love the upside, love the opportunity, love the talent. And again, Mitch Trubisky's ready. He's geared up. He's got to perform this year. And again, Nick Foles breathing down his neck. So what I'm telling you guys is David Montgomery is a sleeper. Target him as an RB3-4. You'll be very happy for a guy that's a workhorse running back with no committee there that's going to be affecting him, okay? So David Montgomery is a fantasy football running back sleeper that I absolutely love. Next guy here is A.J. Dillon. Why do I love Dillon? Because, listen, he's the future of the Packers. Now, listen, with him, 247 pounds. He's over 6 feet tall. He had 318 attempts last year in college and 14 touchdowns. This guy gets the work around the goal line there. So I can only imagine that the Packers are going to use him as a guy around the goal line and a guy they want to integrate and get him some work this season. So many people are high on Aaron Jones. I'm saying stay away from Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones had a pinnacle year last year, 16 touchdowns on the ground. It's not going to happen again. They're going to throw more this year as well. Now, also, Aaron Jones, a guy that's known to get injured, finished 2 out of the 3 seasons. Doesn't finish seasons, this guy. Now, you could say in his defense that if Dillon gets worked in a little bit, that he's going to be preserved more. But at the end of the day, Dillon's going to get his work either way. He is the future. That's why the Packers invested high draft capital. And again, this guy's my RB5, 6 on my rosters. I'm getting him for free in my drafts, especially a great guy to pick up in dynasty leagues who's currently sitting 54th on the consensus rankings amongst running backs. This is an insane amount of value here. He's a huge running back sleeper. You stash on your bench. And again, this is a guy, don't have high expectations, but he's on your bench as a guy that could potentially break breakout if Aaron Jones goes down, or even a guy you could pepper in once in a while, as a flex play if you're desperate, or use him as trade bait if he has a couple big breakout games. And I see him getting a couple games where he's going to break out, have multiple touchdowns in those games, and his name's going to be everywhere. So A.J. Dillon's a guy you definitely want to target. I know he's sitting as RB3 right now in his roster, but definitely a guy that the Packers are definitely going to work in this season. You're going to remember the name, okay? Another guy I absolutely love. This guy I love, and he is a sleeper. The guy I'm talking about is Cam Akers. Now, I just talked to Trent. He is one of my Rams ambassadors. If you guys aren't following FTFN.com, make sure you follow on Instagram and the website, FTFN.com. I'm telling you, this is the game changer. We got all the top NFL YouTubers all in one spot. We're all coming together. We do a live around the NFL when the season starts, 11 a.m. Follow on Twitch. I've linked it below here on YouTube, or just go to Fan Network or FTFN on YouTube. Subscribe. But I'm telling you, I just talked to him. He said that Darrell Henderson just had an injury. It's a soft tissue injury, which put him out. Cam Akers getting some reps now that Henderson's kind of been sidelined with his soft tissue injury. So I am really, really excited about Cam Akers this season as a guy that I liked as soon as the draft happened. I'm like, Cam Akers is prime position to succeed. Now, there is other running backs that have opportunity this year, guys like DeAndre Swift, but you got to look at what team they're on. Rams have produced successful running backs, Todd Gurley being an example. Cam Akers is going to be a plug and play, and this guy's immense value. You can get him late 4th round, early 5th, and I'm telling you guys, as part of an RB3, RB4 package and a robust RB strategy, you'll be very happy. And I talk about this in the 16-round draft solution. Love Cam Akers, and a guy that could really potentially break out, a guy that had 231 attempts last year in the college year, over 1,000 yards rushing, 14 touchdowns, behind a terrible O-line with Florida State. 5'10", 217, prototypical build. Love Cam Akers, tons of upside, and he's a sleeper because, again, this guy could be a top 10 finisher potentially if he gets that workhorse running back capability and volume. But again, going in the 4th, 5th round, I love the value. Adam is part of a robust RB strategy that I talk about in the 16-round draft session. Get it below, or head on over to thefantasyfootballcounts.com to know how to kind of stack him in your entourage of running backs, part of the robust RB strategy. All right, number 4 here, no particular order, is Alexander Mattison. Listen, Dalvin Cook's going to go down. It's inevitable. I'm not sold on the guy. Hasn't finished 3 years that he's played. Doesn't finish seasons. 4 games finished season 1. Dalvin Cook only played 11 games season 2, and I think 13 or 14 games the last season. Dalvin Cook has not been to a fantasy football playoff, championships, and every time you hear it all the time, you go, okay, yeah, I'm going to get Dalvin Cook, but I'm going to get a handcuff with Mattison. You got to get a running back and not worry about getting a handcuff. You got to get a running back and assume that he's going to play the entire season. Not the case with Cook. Everybody that gets Dalvin Cook wants to get Mattison. Here's my thought process. Why don't you get a guy like Derrick Henry, Kamara, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, or Josh Jacobs in round 1, and then get Mattison later? Now you're going to have 2 RB1s because Cook's going to go down eventually. So you got Mattison, you get him late. Immense value, big time sleeper with massive upside. Now, last year he had 100 attempts on the ground and averaged 4.6 yards per carry, more than Dalvin Cook on the limited attempts he had. You give him 250 attempts, similar to what Cook had, and project that out, and you've got a similar season to Dalvin Cook had in Mattison. I love Mattison. Clearly, the Vikings love Mattison. They wouldn't have even acquired him. And when Cook goes down, Mattison's going to be the starter. Make sure you target him, okay? So we talked about Montgomery, Dillon, Akers, Mattison. Last guy, pretty obvious here. You guys know I talk about him all the time. Don't need to talk too much about him, but is David Johnson. David Johnson, been following him. Now, again, he did block me on Instagram because I went at him last year, broke his rookie card. There was a signed rookie card, smashed it with a hammer. I was upset because it was the game that he said he was going to come in and play. Only ended up coming in and get 1 fantasy points, then he went off. It was Kingsbury that pulled him, and I think he had a little bit of a lower back injury. It wasn't too serious because he said he was healthy that game. Might have tweaked it. Either way, Kingsbury sidelined him, screwed him, put Kenyon Drake in. Kenyon Drake sucks. He's done nothing throughout his season. And then you've got David Johnson sidelined. So he's going to be angry. He's going to play with a chip on his shoulder. I love him with the Texans. He's putting a lot of motivational stuff on his Facebook page. He's hungry. He's dedicated. He's got a chip on his shoulder, ready to prove the haters wrong because they've been against him this whole time saying, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. David Johnson is a workhorse running back. He had a pinnacle year in 2016, had a terrible year in 2017, had a fluke wrist injury. 2018 still finished top 9, and then in 2019 was screwed by Kingsbury. This is the year the Texans believe in him. They've invested a lot to get him, and he's got no competition there. Duke Johnson is just not a threat. Love David Johnson, love the upside, love the capability of him. And he's a big-time sleeper because you can get this guy 3rd or 4th round sometimes. He's slipping. A guy that's going to finish top 5. Yes, you heard it, top 5 amongst running backs if healthy. And again, big if. But I'm telling you guys, his injuries were fluke injuries, and he is elite talent. Love him, okay? So again, sleepers, let's recap here. David Montgomery, prime for a huge workload. 242 attempts last year, looking at a 260 point attempt floor, 10 to 12 touchdowns, and at least 1,000 yards rushing as a floor. I'm telling you guys, he's going to get the work. A.J. Dillon, we talked about him, a guy that could take the job and the future of the Packers. Love the upside. This guy ran a 4.5. He's fast and he's big, 240 pounds, over 6 feet tall. Love the guy. Tons of upside, going to get the goal line work. And when Aaron Jones goes down, and he possibly could, A.J. Dillon's going to be the guy, the workhorse running back for the Packers. Cam Akers, again, plug and play. Love the opportunity. Love Cam Akers. Darrell Henderson, not a threat. If Henderson was a threat, they wouldn't have even acquired Akers. They would have went and ran with Henderson, started him. Clearly, he's not good. Already suffered a little bit of a soft tissue injury. Not looking good, giving Cam Akers the reps. Now, I think Cam Akers did fumble on a play. Aaron Donald dropped the ball or hit the ball out of his hands or something like that. Either way, Akers came back, getting the reps, solid, getting a lot of reps with Henderson being sidelined. Love him. We also talked about Mattison potentially starting this season at some point. Great value as well. And David Johnson. I'm telling you guys, these are sleepers I love. 5 of them for you. If you want all my sleepers, head over to thefantasyfootballcounselor.com. My energy's up, guys. Season's here. Super excited. This is what it's all about. Hopefully you guys find some value in this video. If you do, I know you do, smash thumbs up, leave your fantasy questions below. I'll try to get to as many as I humanly possibly can. And of course, guys, get the 60-round draft solution at thefantasyfootballcounselor.com. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here, and I am out. Let's get to, fantasy football season, 2020 football. It cannot come soon enough. I'm out, guys. Thank you for being here. Smash thumbs up. I am out.